Hi everyone, my name is Emmanuel and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'll be telling you 5 profitable businesses in Nigeria. It is no secret that starting a business is one of the keys to financial freedom as compared to other traditional income earning sources such as working for someone. Nigeria is a land of opportunities. Regardless of our economic or political situation, it's still a land of opportunities because we have a large population and there are a lot of problems to be solved. So the basis of business is all about providing value or solving a problem in exchange for money. So that is the basis of business. If you have that in mind, you should tailor it to whatever you are looking into. The first business that I consider very profitable in Nigeria is related to what I do in this channel, and that will be building material business. This is a business which I have very concrete knowledge about. In Nigeria, there's a deficit of housing, even though you think we have a lot of houses in Nigeria, but the truth is that we don't have as much houses that are needed in the country. When you compare it to other advanced countries, you'll see that they've developed their country, they've built bridges, they've built houses, they've built infrastructure, they've built rail lines, they've built dams, they've built all sorts of facilities, they've built universities, hospitals everywhere. What even these countries do now is that they sign contract like 50 years maintenance contracts because there isn't a lot of infrastructure to be built. It's all about maintenance. But in Nigeria here, we don't have such things. I can tell you, people like Dangote, Bua, Lafarge Cement, they'll keep selling cement for the next 100 years. And don't get me wrong, when you mention building materials, it's not all about cement. There are many sides to building material. There's plumbing, there's door, there's electrical, there's tiling. You can focus on any of these parts of building materials. Building materials is not all about cement. Even cement, I can tell you because I know the business very well. Cement is kind of one of the least profitable commodity in building materials. This is because of the saturation. Everybody's selling cement. So their profit margin is not as high as compared to other things in building materials, such as ceramic tiles, doors. Example, doors now could be sold for, let's say, 30,000, but you could buy them at 20,000. So you have like a 10,000 naira profit. Whereas in cement, currently cement is about 5,500, but the profit you make per bag of cement is like 100 naira at most sometimes, or even less sometimes. They use less than 100 naira to sell a bag of cement. There are different things. There's gravel, that's aggregate, there's reinforcement, rods. There are projects that you do, large scale projects. You need to buy reinforcement worth, 100 million naira, 20 million naira, depending on the scale of the project. So you should consider building material because I can tell you housing and infrastructure development is a sector in Nigeria that is lacking behind. And this means that building materials will keep being relevant as a business. Just to give you another example, there's a project we were working on, and there's a guy, he's a plumber. He came in to do the plumbing work for us, and he was telling me the person that connected me to him, he told me that he's bought, at a certain time, he bought plumbing material worth about 20 million naira. So even if you make a profit of 10%, 10% of 20 million is 2 million. So that's the profit. Building material is a sector you should look in. You need paint, you need ceiling board, you need plaster board, you need POP cement, you need white cement. So building material is huge. There are different sectors you could go into. There's the metal works, like things like staircase, the gates, electrical fence. So there's block molding, there's block sales. So building material is very large. I know this properly because I'm a civil engineer and I've run a family building material business. There are things that you need to know about this business. Location is very important. You are not going to set up the building material business in a place that's already developed where they are not building houses anymore. You need to look at places like the north. You need to look at places that are developing upcoming real estate locations. You don't go into the business blindly. If you come and set up a building material store in the heart of a very developed area, nobody's going to patronize you because things they now need there are things like school, hospital, daycare, supermarkets. So business is very strategic. You need to do a survey before you start the business. There are people that have made millions and have become millionaires because of going to unfamiliar terrain to solve problems. So you need to look at where there's probably a problem and then you offer solution. And also you need capital for this business and you need to know the business. You need to know the secrets in the business. There are people in apprenticeship, they go for 8 years, 10 years, they study the business. And at the end of the day, all the mistakes they're going to make, they make it with their masters. So when they come out with capital or when they are settled with capital, they're able to succeed because of their knowledge in the business. You should know who are the suppliers. You need to know the secret, the profits in the business. The second business idea, which I'll be telling you about, is agriculture. In Nigeria here, they underrate agriculture. But in other parts of the world, agriculture is big business. People grow sunflower, people grow potatoes, people rear animals, and they make a lot of money. They feed the nation, basically. But in Nigeria here, agriculture is underlooked. I can tell you in Nigeria, most families that cook, they have a source of protein which they use to prepare their meals. In some families in Nigeria, almost every Sunday they eat chicken. So a business as simple as setting up a poultry is profitable. Whether it be the animal sector or the plant sector, people eat food. They need to eat every day. They need to eat every day. And you are solving people's problem. You can scale up the business to even industrial level. But sadly in Nigeria, agriculture, whether be it animal farming or plant cultivation, they see it as, a dirty business. Obviously, this is largely because the country relies so much on oil. You could make it big in agriculture as well. The third business idea I'll be sharing with you is tech. Tech is a very creative business. Everybody have phones. Even me shooting this video, I have a microphone attached to my shirt. I have a phone which I'm filming with. I have a tripod stand. These things are things that people need. So tech, almost everybody there have phones. At least if Nigeria is 200 million, at least 50 million or even up to 100 million have mobile phones. So tech is an area you can look into. There's the phone, there is computer, there is chargers, there's accessory, there are different parts of it. I bought a laptop the other day. People are looking for the latest gadgets. They're looking for all sort of things in the tech niche. You could hire a store and start with the low price items, or you could even start with accessories if you don't have enough capitals. You could then scale up to other high-end flagship products. And people, especially the youths these days, they need tech. They need tech. People build websites. People make content on the internet. They need all these things. So tech is a very profitable area to look into. Another business in high demand and is actually solving a problem is retail store business or supermarket, if I may put it. So if you start small, get a store, you could scale the business to a very large retail mega store or supermarket, if I put it. Almost every day of their lives, 365 days in a year, they need to shower, they need to eat, they need to take care of themselves. So you can start a retail store in places that need them. Almost every morning people have breakfast. They need all these retail commodities for the running of their lives. So retail stores or supermarket, if I put it, is something you should consider. People make profit, even though the profit margin might not be as high, but this is a sector that is very profitable when you scale up. Don't just look at it as, just starting a store. You just think about the future. You could scale it up to a very well-known stores like ShopRite and other stores like Next Supermarket. It's all about starting small. You could grow your capital over time. So this is one sector you should look into, because Nigeria, we've got over 200 million people and we need to feed these people. They need commodities every single day of their life to run their lives. Another business idea in Nigeria is real estate. Obviously, people are scared about real estate. They feel you need a lot of money. Just like building material, there are different sides to real estate. There's the real estate marketer or the realtor. There's commercial property. There's residential property. There's industrial properties like warehouse. There are people that run management company in real estate. They manage people's property and they take a certain percentage of the rent. There are people that invest their money into building the houses themselves, who need a roof over their head. So venturing into real estate can be very profitable. You could even buy lands, low selling lands, like lands that are sold for 500 naira after your due diligence, and in future you could sell it for as much as 3 million, 4 million. I'll call this land banking, or what I call flipping. There are people that buy dilapidated properties, that properties that are, bad and not so good anymore. They renovate it and flip it and sell it for a profit. There are different facets to real estate. Even things like real estate marketers or realtors, they don't actually need capital to run this business. You could, market real estate for people, and when you close on a deal, you get a certain percentage. As I mentioned, there are different areas you could plug yourself into the real estate market because it's still a developing sector in Nigeria. We have a long way to go in Nigeria. We have to develop low housing for the population. There are different things we need to do. So real estate is another sector that has huge potential of being profitable and being lucrative. The sixth business idea you can start in Nigeria. This is a bonus tip for you. Many people in Nigeria, they have degrees in computer science, they have degrees in animal husbandry, they have degrees in auto mechanical engineering. These are things or skills they paid money for, a lot of money to go to university, but they don't utilize them. There are people that have passion, passion for arts, passion for sales, passion for music, passion for different things. These are skills they could monetize. People have gone to university to professionally earn a degree in computer science. These are things you paid a lot of money. You studied it for 5 years. You could make mobile apps. You could start a computer training institute. You could start small and scale it up to a very large business in future. So this is a bonus tip for you. I mean, people have skills that they've spent money, even baking. They've gone to baking school or they've gone to a seminar and paid a lot of money to learn how to bake. I mean, this is a skill you shouldn't waste. You could start baking meat pies, cakes for people's birthday. Before you know it, you scale up, you start doing wedding, event planning. People study animal husbandry. You could start the poultry just in your house and scale it over time. So these are skills people have paid money for. Even in university, people study auto mechanical engineering, they study electrical engineering. You could gain experience that could, set you apart, and you could start offering value for people. You could get registered as a professional architect. So that is how it works basically. People have passions, things they are very passionate about. They are good at it in the sense that they could be even the best in it. So this is another thing I would say is a business idea. What skill have you got? What passion have you got? So these are things you could look into and start a business around. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed watching this video, do well to give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to this channel for more videos on this topic.